I'm happy to say a few words about Stephen Hay's Cash Crop exhibition and how honored we are to have it here in our space at Container. Stephen Hayes is an exceptional artist whose work to date has not been exhibited outside of the East and the Southeast. We're really delighted to be able to share his work with an audience west of the Mississippi, and we hope that you'll have the opportunity to come and see the work in person. This is one of the most powerful exhibitions that we've ever hosted here in Santa Fe. Stephen has a few different symbols that he works with throughout his iconography. One of them is the human body, another one is the horse, another one is the bullet. And you can see in this work over here that Stephen is drawing the viewer in with the lure of the shiny spent shells. But then upon a closer look, you notice that it's actually a human hand. And that hand is not just any hand, it's a hand of Stephen's own loved ones. In this body of work, he titled this whole series 5 Pounds, because it takes 5 pounds of force to shoot a gun. By mixing in the body parts of his own friends and family, it brings it to a really human place for us so that we can see that just like the formerly enslaved human beings in the American South, there's still people living today in parts of the United States that are faced with violence being inflicted upon them on a daily basis. So these works are not only poignant in their messages, but incredibly skilled in their execution. Another piece I'd like to talk about that relates to cash crop is a monumental piece called Consumption. Consumption is comprised of 250 different boxes that contain an impression of the Brooks slave ship. The Brooks slave ship was a diabolical vessel. This image of the way bodies could be placed on the ship is something that Stephen is not afraid to address because he really wants us to understand what happened. He uses this diagram from the Brooks slave ship, not only in this edition Verrier, but also on the backs of his cash crop sculptures. The back of each cash crop sculpture is carved by Stephen to create a wood block, the type of wood block that most artists would then sort of monetize by making prints from it. In Stephen's case, though, he doesn't make the prints, he lets them stand alone as unique works of art. We hope that the entire cash crop group will be purchased by an institution for their permanent collection as a very important acknowledgement of the history of the enslavement of human beings in the United States. One last element of Stephen's work I'd like to talk about is his use of the horse. The horse is something that has a sordid and demonic history in association with the enslavement of human beings. There's the Willie Lynch letter, in which they compared the breaking or training to the breaking of a horse. This is the first piece of art I ever saw by Stephen Hayes at the National Museum of Art in Durham, North Carolina at Duke University. And this piece is called Flying W. You can see their hands around the sculptures as if invisible bodies are holding the front legs of the horse. This is based on lore about a very famous horse trainer in North Carolina who would train horses by tying ropes to their front legs and putting a bag over their head. If the horse didn't do what the trainer was saying to do, then the ranch hands would pull the ropes, hence pulling the legs out from under the horse so that the legs would bend and the horse would fall onto the ground, making the imprint of a W on the ground. You can see another piece of Stephen's that references the horse here. It's called American Hustle. Here you have a horse with a noose around its neck. It's a rope that could be considered a rein, but it's shaped like a noose that might be used in lynching. And here you have horse legs again, but the legs are so uneven, it's hard to stand up. There's a mirror behind the horse's head so that hopefully when we view this piece of art, we'll see ourselves and we'll be able to implicate our own actions and those of our families and how we may have contributed to some of the atrocities of the enslavement of human beings in the past. And I think that that is something that is very important for me personally in curating this exhibition, is to embrace the power of art to speak the truth in a way that sometimes words can't, and in a way that undeniably touches the soul of the people who walk through this exhibition and who collect this work. I'm very proud to say that Michael and I have collected 3 pieces of Stephen Hayes, and we hope that you'll support his work as well.